Hey guys, Jessey from PS4Daily.com, and today we're talking to Eric of Trinket Studios about Battle Chef Brigade, one of his games that he's showing off at Indy PopCon 2016. So, Eric, what exactly is Battle Chef Brigade?
So, in short, Battle Chef Brigade is fantasy Iron Chef. So, you have orcs, elves, dwarves all competing in the kitchen instead of on a battlefield, and you have to hunt for your ingredients in order to have anything to cook with.
Yeah, so I think the hunting part was probably the most interesting mechanic in the game. Like, I'm over here, it has like a little, what is it called, bejeweled kind of system where you're cooking and you're trying to match up the shapes and everything to kind of complete the dish. And then it asked me to hunt for my stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I started fighting the ingredients and killing the ingredients. So what made you guys include that element in the game?
So, I am a huge fan of beat 'em up games like brawlers and stuff. So, it was a pretty natural fit for us because I just wanted to make a game like that finally. But also, being that it's in the fantasy world, it was just a perfect marriage to have you go out there and slay dragons and other monsters for their ingredients. So yeah.
Okay, I noticed that it wasn't exactly a one-sided fight. They were still attacking me, and they seem to be doing any damage. Can I be killed, and what happens if I am killed?
Yeah, so you can get all of your hearts taken away, and what happens is if you had any ingredients in your satchel, they'll all drop there right at the spot, and you'll respawn in the kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad of a penalty.
Right. It's not too bad, except for we have those little chicken-like creatures that we're calling steelbirds, and they will swoop in and eat your ingredients. So you need to get back to that place where you died as quick as possible if you don't want to lose anything.
Okay. And so I noticed that one of the parts had me creating a dish with, I think, 50 stars, and I accidentally got up to 90 stars because I wasn't exactly paying attention. Is there a benefit for people who keep going and keep fortifying their dishes, or should you just stop at 50 stars when you get there?
So the 50 stars is for the tutorials purpose, just to teach the mechanics, but absolutely when you're battling head-to-head with another chef, it's all about trying to get as many points as you can within the time limit. I think right now the maximum you can get in our game is about somewhere around 400 points. So yeah, it's all about high score. Yeah.
And so, does the player have any abilities that they can use, or things that they can upgrade in the game?
Yeah. So a lot of our RPG light, as we call it, for our game is that there's a shop, and as you do jobs in the side world in Brigade Town, and as you challenge other chefs, you can get gold and upgrade your cookware and get unlock different abilities. And so we don't have like leveling up per se, where you put in stat points into your strength or your HP or whatever, but we do it all based on your items, and that makes you more and more powerful.
So earlier you described it as kind of like an Iron Chef battle kind of game. Is there a tournament mode?
So right now, the whole setup of our campaign is a tournament. So Mina, for instance, you're gonna play through her campaign single player, and it's all about her knocking out her competition and getting to the top. Now, as far as online, online is super difficult, so we're not going to be having that on release. But hopefully, down the road, at the very least, we want to do local two-player competition. Okay. Yeah.
And now that you mentioned the RPG Lite system, I kind of remember being able to choose between different characters, and I think they had different stats.
Yes.
How does that affect the gameplay?
Yeah, so each of our characters, there's quite a few things. Their fighting style is different, and so just in that alone, their movement speed and their attack damage and the move set that they have are all going to be different. And then the same goes for in the kitchen. They're going to have different abilities and spells that they can use. So in our demo, Mina didn't have a spell that we could show off at this time, but each chef is going to have different special abilities inside when they're cooking.
And so I know we haven't talked about this yet, but what exactly is the story with this game?
Yeah, so for Mina in particular, she wants to help out her family restaurant back home. So she's trying to enter the tournament in the hopes that by getting in, she can earn the prize and help her family back home. So it's a very simple story, but as players will see when they interact with all the different characters in Brigade Town, there's a lot of more depth going on. Yeah, but that's the baseline that I'll lay out there.
All right, thank you. And so what platforms are we looking at, and can we talk about a release date?
Yeah, so we're aiming for January 2017 on Steam and PS4, and then hopefully the other consoles to follow, 5 or 6 months after that.
Does that include the Vita?
We have thought about it, but probably just the console itself first, and then hopefully we can get onto something like Vita, because it would be a wonderful match with that. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks so much for interviewing me, and thanks for checking out the game.